Yeah, what's that, family? So I was just sitting here thinking, that about the three different kinds of the abomination of desolation. I kind of wanted to go over that with you guys because for a long time I was confused about it. But if one thing I wanted to bring to mind, the eagle family. You know, think about it. Rome back in 102 BC, their bird, their sign or whatever was the eagle. The Babylonians was the eagle. Well, of course, us, US, we're the eagle. The number one desolation was Daniel with King Nebuchadnezzar. Number two was the desolation of the temple destroyed when Jerusalem was destroyed. Deuteronomy 28, Moses, foretold this, family. The falling away of the church, the man of sin revealed sitting in the temple, the rebuilt temple, as God, quote unquote, is the third abomination of desolation. Past the Babylonian stories from Daniel chapters 1 through 6, you will run into some interesting things about the tail end of Daniel, family. These prophecies appear to affect Israel in the near future, but also they seem to hint at the end times and connections with the book of Revelation. One such prophecy, the abomination of desolation, mentioned in Daniel 9:27, Daniel 11:31, and Daniel 12:11, appears throughout history and in the age to come. The Antichrist, figured who set up an abomination, a place of worship, has had a role throughout history. His armed forces will rise up to desecrate the temple fortress and will abolish the daily sacrifice. Then they will set up an abomination that will cause its desolation. Daniel 11:31. Mentioned also in Matthew 24:15, this is one of the signs of the end when the Antichrist sets up the abomination, the holy place, and will command people to worship it. The objects of disgust and idol will cause desolation, causing those in Judea to flee to the mountains. Matthew 24:16. In history, the abomination was an idol, family, but in this case of the end days, the Antichrist will set himself up as the idol for the people to worship. In Revelation 13:14, the future fulfillment of the abomination of desolation. When Jesus spoke about this, he was speaking in context of a discussion about the end of age. You can read about it in Matthew 24:3 and also in verses 13 and 14. Jesus said, therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains, verses 15 and 16. So here you see another fulfillment, basically, of the abomination of desolation to occur in the future. What happens, after the abomination of desolation? Jesus mentioned the end time. He warned that, God's people would have to flee, basically, in Matthew 24:16 through 20, because shortly after the abomination of desolation is set up, there will be great tribulation, in verse 21. This is why the abomination of desolation is such an important prophetic marker for us to watch, family, because it signals the great tribulation and basically the 3.5-year period of global war and suffering is about to begin. I was speaking on that a couple years ago. There's just so many things the Lord has revealed to me about these things. Jeremiah being the very one, the Babylonians connected to, it's crazy how it all comes together like a puzzle. When the abomination of desolation is set up, faithful Christ followers who are watching and strong in God's Spirit will understand what's happening, family, and will know the time has come to flee. Though the Bible says some of God's people will be martyred, others will be protected. Revelation 12, verses 11 through 17. That's pretty interesting. Read that if you get the chance. The abomination of desolation. This is a Hebrew expression meaning an abominable or hateful destroyer. The Gentiles were all held in abomination by the Jews. Acts 10:28. The abomination of desolation means the Roman army and is also explained by Luke chapter 21, verses 20. family, just know that, there's already been 2 prophecies, that's been fulfilled. And we're just waiting on the 3rd abomination of desolation to happen, which is us, family. I truly believe with all my heart that we are that generation that will witness many, many things to come in the future. So, be ready. And don't be frightened. Don't let your heart fail you when these things start to take place. You know what I mean? Because it says the hearts of men will fail them. But as long as you're right and you're walking with the Lord and you're still staying focused on that narrow path and you're not getting distracted by the broad path, you're not holding on to earthly things like Lot's wife. She was told not to turn back and she couldn't help herself. And I truly believe still to this day she's there, a pillar of salt turned into stone. So the Lord is love and mercy, yes, family, but he is just, and his wrath will be justified. Love you guys. Y'all be easy. Shalom.